Hey, welcome back, you bums. Check it out. I have a new list for you while this cool image of orcs fighting play. Anyways, so I have a Beast Raiders list, Beast Riders, whatever they're freaking called. I can't remember where I saw this list. You can see the list here on the right. I can't remember exactly where I saw it. It's not a Scott original here. It's not a Analytical Bum original. This is a list that I do want to analyze because I found it not only unique, but also horribly ununique, right? If you just look, it's got 4 Huskards on Thunder Tusk, and then count that 7. He has 7 10-man blobs of orcs for 80 points apiece. So here, I'll start off with it. It's using Destruction, so basically you get Ravager, or whatever it is, on a 6+, and you get +2 to the roll on the General. And basically that just allows you to do like extra moves. So that's something that won't go off too often. You need a 6+ to happen. Otherwise, you're almost playing vanilla like nothing's happening. And that Ravager comes from, it's the command trait, comes from Destruction. And the realm is from Kamon, and we're picking the all-chemical chain. I know not too many of you are familiar with that. That just makes that particular Huskard on Thunder Tusk able to dispel a spell as if he was a wizard. I think there's a lot of other good picks as well. So let me know what could possibly be better there. But that's just what I went ahead and threw on him. Thought it was pretty good for now. And so we only have really 2 different units to look at. It's the hero version of the Thunder Tusk and the orcs. So there really isn't too much to explain. However, there's something very important about this list that players have either forgotten or don't pay much more attention to. Now, this list did not top 8 LVO. There wasn't any Beast Rider list topping LVO. However, there has been Beast Rider lists that have done well in other smaller tournaments. So it's possible that you could see something like this. And it's easy to proxy or play these Thunder Tusks as Huskard on Thunder Tusk. Basically, if you have a Thunder Tusk, you just play it as a Huskard on Thunder Tusk, right? And no one's really going to care usually. And if you have a Stonehorn, well, if you have your models magnetized, if you have your models magnetized, you can switch between the two, between a Thunder Tusk and a Stonehorn. Especially if your rider is not glued in, you can swap out riders as well. Because the hero version is 1 rider, while the non-hero version usually has 2 riders. Let me bring up a War Scroll here really quick. I completely I opened up the wrong document and realized that I've got the wrong document open. So, Rampaging Destroyers, that's the battle trait. Roll a dice in your hero phase for your general and each destruction hero in your army. Add 2 for the roll if it's a general. Destruction units within 6 inches of the general hero being rolled for, blah, 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 blah. I don't even know what I'm saying. That unit can immediately move 6 inches if it is more than 12 from the enemy, can immediately pile in if it's within 3 of the enemy, or can immediately declare a charge in any other circumstance. So if you're 6 inches away, you can declare a charge. If you are within 3 inches, you just fight again. If you're really far away, you can just move again. Okay? And then Ravager, command trait is just going to add 1 to the Rampaging Destroyer roll dice for the general only. So the general will do it on 3 up. So the general becomes really nasty. Moving around and piling in, I guess. But you really don't use Huskards on Thunder Tusk to do combat damage. They do have some cool combat effects. They have a -1 to hit in the combat phase, so they're a little more defensive. But their offensive capabilities really aren't all that awesome. And I'll pull that up for reference. Basically, you're trying to use him for the Frost-Wreathed Ice Missile. If it's fully healed, he's going to do straight up 6 mortal wounds to something on a 2-up. But his melee attacks, it's just he's got a Punches and kicks for 3s and 4s. 3 attacks, 1 damage. Not too good. Thunder Tusk Crushing Blows, 4 attacks for 3s and 2s if he's fully healed. -1 run for D3 damage. So not too awesome. And then you're going to pick, instead of like a chain trap or harpoon launcher, which don't really do much, and they hit on 4s very bad, you're just going to pick a Blood Vulture. So you're guaranteed to get that 1 mortal wound. On a 4-up, it hits what you want. On anything else, it hits a different unit that your opponent got to choose. So he's going to choose something with either a mortal wound save or something that he doesn't care to die. You're looking at an ad. I just now noticed that. So yeah, Toyota. Yeah, I don't get paid by Toyota. Anyways, but you're taking this unit mostly to deal mortal wound damage. Now, once it's taken 3 wounds, it's going to be D6 mortal wounds after that. And then it just keeps getting worse till 10 or more wounds. And he's only got 12. It's only going to do 1 mortal wound. So that Frost Wreathed Ice, basically we call it snowballs. He's going to throw a snowball at somebody, a dirty snowball. And basically what you want to do is try and get first turn or get second turn if your opponent can't do that much damage to you. Okay? So if your opponent isn't going to do hardly any damage to you, take that second turn. That way your opponent moves a little closer to you, usually. And then you just basically move forward. And they can move and run. You can still use Frost Sheathed Ice or Dirty Snowball if it ran. So it's going to move 8 inches, and then it's going to run, so average of 4 inches, so it's going to move 12 inches on average, right? Especially if you don't have to maneuver around terrain. If you maneuver around terrain, it's going to move a little less. And then it has a, 18-inch range. So, as long as the enemy's base is slightly within that 18-inch range, you can nuke something. So your threat range is 8 plus 18 plus an average of 4, right? So you can add that up. 18 plus 12. You have a 30-inch threat range. I think that's pretty good. Start 12 inches within the board. So you only have to go 3 more feet forward. So 12, 24, 36. You have a 30-inch threat range. Your opponent has to keep their high-value stuff in their back 6 inches, right? Or when they're deploying, keep it to the far edges and the corners and stuff like that. Do a little corner camping. So that's how you would play against it. But if you're not doing that, you can't do that. They're probably going to get those 6 mortal wounds. Now, if you're playing a, let's say, a big dragon, a big old dragon. Well, the big old dragon against 4 Thunder Tusks is going to die. So that's the strength of the list, is being able to kill something so big and powerful that's worth so many points right off the bat. And then not worrying that the other 7 battle line of orcs are so crap that they can't hardly kill anything. Because they really can't. So you're really banking on that one phase to do so much damage. And then hopefully your opponent can't return too much damage, and then you can do it again. So that's why this list is trying to win. Now, if you can do a lot of damage, doing D6 damage, mortal wounds from Dirty Snowball is not very good. So you only have to do 3 damage to them, okay? However, before these guys get to shoot in the hero phase, they can do Winter's Endurance. A second skin of ice forms on the units, and 1 model in this unit heals D3 wounds. So basically, it gets to heal for D3. So in your hero phase, a Huskar and Thunder Tusk can attempt to harness the strange wintry magic that clings to this mount. To do so, select the Beastclaw Raiders unit with an 18-inch himself or a more damaged friendly Huskar, and roll a die. Add the result for each other friendly Thunder Tusk with an 18. Each other. So you're going to get +3 to your result, okay? Because all 4 of these should be pretty close. Or they're going to be within 18. On a 4 or more, select one of the abilities from the list below to apply to the unit you pick. So basically on a 2-up, as long as your 4 guys are alive, you're going to get an extra bit of damage, right? Or a bit of health so that you can get more damage. So you do have to do a significant amount of damage to these guys or just straight up kill one, which can happen if you're playing an opposing army. A lot of ranged abilities or ranged damage just in general can kill these guys. So that's why I want to do the the analyzation. Now, when you play against a lot of a cluttered game boards, you're going to start having those issues with this list. If you have, if your opponent has a lot of hardy units that take up too much time to shoot at, because you're only going to have, what, 2 or 3, battle rounds to shoot at them reliably. So your opponent can kill your orcs while you're trying to kill other stuff. And that can really hinder how much damage output you can put while trying to still control points. So your opponent can win objectives. This is not a, just nuke your opponent first turn, you're good to go. It's not going to work that way, unfortunately. That's just not how the game is going to work. Otherwise, this list would have top 8'd LVO. It didn't top 8 LVO, okay? But, I mean, it can be very powerful in some certain circumstances. For example, if your opponent is playing the second list, Stormcast Eternal list, if the Stormcast Eternal list goes first, he can throw down a lot of mortal wounds in the first turn, right? He's going to have the Starfall. He's going to have the Comet that comes down, Everblaze Comet. He's going to have the little horn guy, toot-to-doo. He's going to toot on a piece of terrain that's near your guys, and before you know it, your Huskguards are, instead of shooting D6, or shooting 6 mortal wounds, are shooting D6, and they're not healing so much, because maybe, you possibly could have even killed one. If you do enough mortal wounds and your Judicators really get in there and do some damage, you could potentially kill one, right? So, Comet Fall, or whatever it is, Everblaze Comet, the Horn Tootin' Dude, any other spell that you might want to try and throw at him, and then the unit's Judicators. So, it's not completely foolproof, and if your opponent saves his dragon to be deployed last, he can put it in the corner, and then suddenly, instead of getting all 4 of your guys and killing that dragon, maybe you'll only be able to get 1. So that is another issue that the list might have against, a very popular Stormcast list. And with a lot of other lists that will start off the battlefield, they will be able to say if they go first, they'll just not deploy very strong units, and then next turn deploy them, kill all your screen, and these Huskguards are going to melt as soon as their screening units are gone. That -1 in the combat phase is not enough. All the damaging ranged abilities and everything like that are just going to melt stuff. These orcs die very easily. That's only a 5-up save with 5 bravery. So they lose 1 guy on a 5-up. Guys are running, right? So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about that list. If you think I missed anything, feel free to add. There's a lot of other opportunities where this list could be bad, and some opportunities where this list could be really good. But you can use that the information that I put forth today to help your own analysis. But I do think this is an interesting list. I'm big on I like lots of the same stuff, so that's really why I wanted to do this list, and this list does it the most. I mean, in my last video I showed a video of no shit, Sherlock. On my last video, I had my Seraphon list having 4 Engine of the Gods. And it did kill the big dragon, the big old dragon, right? But it just couldn't beat everything else. And then that everything else was kicking my butt, right? So those Sequitors are hard to kill. And say you use Huskar and Thundercuss to nuke a blob of Sequitors. It's got 40 models, 30 models, whatever. You take 3 models out. For full damage, I'm killing 3 models. Those Sequitors are still going to smash into your lines. They're going to kill all the screen on the first turn of fighting, right? Your orcs are just going to melt. And then you're still going to kill another 3 models, and all the while, they're going to have a dragon. Or you're not going to kill any models and try and kill the dragon, right? All the while, you're taking mortal